Hi guys! We have been working a lot with our shoulders the past few weeks in my classes, and I thought it might be helpful for you to get just a few little options of things you can do at home to add to your strength, mobility, flexibility, and even a little bit of self-massage. So we're going to start with our shoulder strength. So one little exercise actually too today. You're gonna grab a strap. So if you have a yoga strap, you can grab that. Otherwise a belt, a towel, whatever you have that you can hold kind of in a long position here. So I've got a strap and I've looped it off here into kind of a circle. You can have it open, but this kind of has the benefit of not having quite so much to manage of those loose ends. So you'll wanna have something that is maybe a little bit wider than your shoulders. So we're going to start by bringing the strap today behind your back. So think of your palms facing back behind you as you find that grip that is about shoulder width distance or slightly wider. And then standing up tall, we're just going to push the strap straight back behind you. So from the side you can see, keeping my body stable, soft bend in the knees, arms extended as I just push back. You'll feel that squeeze between the shoulder blades. And then lower. So it might be a really small movement depending on kind of how tight things are feeling, how unfamiliar this movement may be, and we're just looking to see how far back we can get that press without moving the rest of the body. So let's take a couple more here. You can just kind of do this till you start to feel that back body getting a little bit tired, and then let it go. We'll bring the strap now out in front to roughly that same level, so hands about shoulder distance or slightly wider, with the strap just kind of resting by your thighs here. So again, root down through your feet, find a soft bend in your knees. We're going to push the hips back into a hinge, bringing your torso parallel to the floor, and reach your arms straight out. Slowly come back up to stand. We'll do it again. Push back with the hips, forward with the hands. Start to lift your arms maybe a little bit more, and then come back up. So as you work into this hip hinge, really pushing the hips back, finding that flat back, start to let your arms really pull up toward the sky, and then lower, lift the body. We'll do that one more time. And then again, you can do this kind of until you feel that fatigue starting to build, and it might happen pretty quick, using a lot of smaller muscles in the back there to get that lift. So that's your strength exercise. You can go ahead and set the strap down. Moving on to mobility. So in the slow flow class, we do a lot of mobility work, and a lot of times that includes CARs, controlled articular rotation. So basically, we're trying to use as much of what that joint can do as possible. So our shoulder is very complex, so this is just one option of a shoulder CAR, but working on some of that internal and external rotation as we move kind of that circular motion through the shoulder joint. So go ahead and ground down through your feet again, about hip width distance apart. Find that soft bend in your knees. And we want to start by engaging the body. So option to make fists or kind of just feel strong and proud in your stance. And then kind of hug in and engage the abdominals. So we want to make sure that as we're moving that shoulder, focusing on that one joint action, the rest of the body isn't wobbling around. We want to stay super stable and just control that one movement at a time. So we'll start with your right hand, so go ahead and relax the hand heavy. And then we're starting in external rotation. So I'm going to turn my palm forward, my thumb out, and just kind of twist as much as I can into that movement. Starting to bring your arm across your body, so we call this adduction. Lifting up, so we're starting to make this big circle, coming all the way to the top, and at the top we switch to internal rotation. So slowly turn your hand the opposite direction as you start to take it back. And as you come back, you may find that you can keep rotating even further, taking that arm back behind you and down by your side. So now at the bottom, my thumb is turned back or even all the way out to the side. I'm going to keep it there and reverse the movement, taking my arm all the way back. As it comes up, we start to unwind a little bit. And then at the top, switching to that external rotation. Coming back across the body. Slowly back down and shake it off. We'll try the second side. So relax that left hand. Start with your external rotation. Turn the palm forward, the thumb out. Rotate, rotate, rotate. As you guide your arm across your body, moving slowly so you feel each little shift at the shoulder joint. taking it up and overhead, and then that internal rotation. So thumb comes through center, turning back and out. So my arm comes behind, I keep twisting, rotating in, bringing it all the way back down to my side, and then reversing that movement. So coming back, unwinding a little bit as we hit the top, and then switching to that external rotation, thumb turning out, across the body, and back down. Relax, let it go. So that's a good option to take a few times in each direction, kind of just working into where that shoulder joint can go, where you feel more stable, where you might need to focus a little more time. Onto your flexibility move. So we're gonna come down to the mat, starting in a tabletop shape. So we're on all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, fingers spread open. Start by reaching my right arm up to the sky, stacking shoulder over shoulder, and then exhale to thread the needle. So just reaching through that opposite side, dropping onto my right shoulder, head hits the mat. You can stay here. You can always crawl your opposite hand forward, or even tuck it behind the low back. Just kind of see what sensation feels good to you. See if you can keep your hips lifted here, just so we feel kind of naturally stacked, knees under hips, letting all of the weight drop into your shoulder. Pausing here for a few breaths. And then bring that opposite hand back down to push into the floor, resetting back up to your tabletop shape. And then taking the second side, a breath in to reach. Exhale to reach under the opposite side, slowly lower. Find that place for your head to rest as you drop some weight down into the shoulder. Breathing into that space around the shoulder, into your back. And then you can adjust your other hand however you like. Take about 3 more breaths here on this side. And then when you're ready, bring that opposite hand back under your shoulder, push into the floor, come back up to all fours. Take whatever movement feels good to release. So those are all movements we did in our slow flow practice this week, focused on the shoulders. And then I'm gonna give you one more bonus because we've been doing our Sunday self-care, which means we've been getting some self-massage with these yoga tune-up balls. So this is what's called the alpha ball. It's a little bit bigger. But the regular yoga tune-up balls are very similar to a tennis ball. So you can try this with a tennis ball at home. The benefit of the yoga tune-up balls is that they come in different sizes, and they're also kind of this rubbery material so they can grab onto your skin or your clothes a little bit better to get that grip. But I'll show you what we did with it this week, because this is kind of my problem area, is my traps. So this space that really connects between your neck and your shoulders. We gather a lot of tightness here, generally from stress. Whether that's mental stress or that wear and tear of carrying things. So we're gonna start with the ball behind your traps. So bring it on my right side. So right here, kind of a few inches outside of the base of the spine, right around the top of my shoulders. If you're looking at me head on, kind of see the top of the ball right at the front. And then I'm gonna lean it up against the wall and walk my feet out. So now I'm leaning back into the ball, creating that pressure. And that might be enough right there. Maybe you want to just roll a little bit side to side to get that massage. And then we take a little turn to the right. So that side that the ball is on, you're going to turn in that direction. So you're almost sideways against the wall. And then your arm closest to the wall. First, just relax, let it drop heavy. Feel that pressure where the ball is kind of pushing into those tight tissues. And then let your arm swing gently forward and gently back. So just along the wall, finding a little bit of movement, and then you can take it out front of the body and back towards the wall, doing that a few times and kind of just playing with whatever movement feels good here. And then switching to that second side again, bring it right up to the top of your traps, the top of that space between the shoulder and the neck, walking your feet out to find a little pressure, maybe starting with that little side to side roll. And then eventually turning to that same side, adjust if you need, letting your arms drop, finding that slow motion. So we don't have to go super fast or super hard to feel a lot here. But these massage balls are a great way to just give a little extra help breaking up those knots if you are not able to go get a massage every week. If you are, let me know. That sounds great. I would love to get on board. But feel free to play with this. Maybe just kind of roll out where it feels good along your back on the wall if you've got a tennis ball or a tune-up ball at home. And let me know how your shoulders are feeling, if there's any other requests that you have for areas that we can work on next time. Thanks for being here.